Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Vietnam Public Employment Services, I would like to deliver the presentation on innovative solution for face-to-face current guidance at Vietnam's Public Employment Service Center. There are three main parts of my presentation. Part 1, overview of employment service in Vietnam. Part 2, current situation of the face-to-face current guidance for workers at Employment Service Center. Part 3, innovative measure for the face-to-face current guidance for workers at ESCs. Now we would like to present the first part, overview of employment service in Vietnam. And same as other countries in the world, Vietnam Employment Service Organization also includes the ESC, which are also called as PES, an employment service enterprise grading as private employment services. Above a figure presents the system of PES Center in Vietnam. This system includes 130 centers located in provinces, cities, and one national center for employment service under the Department of Employment, Ministry of Labor, Invalid and Social Affairs. 64 ESC under the Department of Labor, Invalid and Social Affairs, and being established by the President of People's Committee as a provinces. Other 66 ESC under the management of Ministry and Socio-Political Organization. MOLISA is a state management authority in charge of employment issues. Currently, ESC perform 6 following tasks. The first, consulting about the issues of employment, vocational training, regulation on the industrial relation. The second, providing job placement service for workers, supplying and recruiting workers as a request of employer. The third, collecting, analyzing, and providing labor market information. The fourth, organizing the vocational training. The fifth, implementing the unemployment insurance policy. The sixth, performing other tasks as stipulated by law. Accordingly, the guidance task shall be regarded as a top priority of each ESC. Activities of ESC have been conducted in various forms with the purpose of matching the job seeker and employer effectively, of which the operation of Job Bazaar is one of the most distinguished. You can see in the Da Nang ESC tomorrow afternoon. Around 20% of the total number of job seekers have found jobs through Job Bazaar. The current guidance activities that result the success of the Job Bazaar. Now we would like to present 2 parts. Part 2, current situation of the current guidance in ESC. There are 2 key forms of the current guidance: face-to-face guidance for individual and for group. Regarding the face-to-face current guidance for the individual, this form has been conducted regularly as the head office and satellite office of ESC. The current guidance officer could provide basic or detailed PS of advice based on each job seeker's condition. Although only a modest number of job seekers could be provided with a face-to-face current guidance, around 2,000–3,000 times of user. The consulting quality and effectiveness could be always ensured. The current guidance by group is provided by group of job seekers, such as a group of newly graduated trainees, student, group of unemployment workers looking for new job, group of unemployment workers finding the vocational training course with the purpose of changing job and finding employment. The career guidance by group had been applied since 2009, particularly in the beginning of 2010, when the employment insurance scheme were being implemented. This form mainly provides a consultation of labor legislation, civil writing scheme, communication scheme, job interview scheme. Therefore, it is significant to provide a large number of job seekers at the same time. It depends on specific demand of each job seeker or group. ESC could provide a career guidance service with a different content. The first content is the employment guidance. Job vacancies of local enterprises have been collected, categorized, and updated to the labor supply database. When a worker seeks employment service, consulting officer uses this database to provide the suitable job vacancy for workers, so as to match the job vacancy with the capability conditions of worker. Since 2011, ESC have provided employment guidance services for 2.6 million times of users, accounting for the 60% of the total number of people having been consulted. The second content is the vocational training guidance. Most of workers having demand of vocational training guidance is a manual worker or worker having demand for changing to suitable occupation with higher salary. Since 2011, ESC have provided vocational training guidance for 1.1 million of workers, accounting for 25% of the total number of people having been consulted. The third content is providing guidance services on policy, scheme for workers, and the unemployment insurance. These contents are usually incorporated into the employment and vocational training guidance. Since 2011, ESC have provided policy guidance services for 660,000 times of users, accounting for the 15% of the total number of people having been consulted. The Department of Employment about the career guidance staff of ESC. The Department of Employment under Muliza organized a training course for key lecturers of ESC, and then the ESC asked this person organizing similar training course for other consulting staff in ESC. There are 800 career guidance officers over the total of 3,600 employees in ESC, accounting for 22%. The qualification is rather good, with 100 career guidance officers graduated from college and above, of which 15% of them have a postgraduate degree. Most of them have a 5-year working experience and being professional trained in the current guidance. However, just a modest number of people are provided with current guidance services due to the small number of the current guidance officers. Some specific groups, such as people with disability, people and students, have not been paid due attention. Assessment of the face-to-face career guidance for workers in ESC in Vietnam. The strength. Career guidance services not only provided a meaningful contribution to mitigating the mismatch of the education, but also the weakness in the managing and using the labor force in general and trained workforce in particular. 100% of ESC provided career guidance services under the various forms. Quality of the first career. Quality of the face-to-face career guidance is increasingly improved, with a growing number of job seekers having been directly consulted in ESC. The percentage of job seekers finding jobs through ESC and increased 11% of 2013 comparing to 2010. There are various forms of implementation as well as the different content of the occupational consultation and guidance. Current guidance officers have been trained and their qualification and quantity are increasingly improved. They meet the task requirement basically and satisfy the workers' demand. In addition to the trend, current guidance services also have the following weaknesses. The first, there is not any uniform model for the organization and operation of direct career guidance services. The second, most of cases are the basic career guidance. The cases of in-depth career guidance are still modest. The third, shortage of the regional and international standardized document is the employment services. The content have not been specified today. It's an innovative solution for the career guidance at Employment Service Center of Vietnam. The first solution is improving the organization model. Based on the current practice in each ESC and general procedure for career guidance services, the specific guidance procedure have been developed in accordance with each ESC's condition. Integrating the career guidance with other activities such as activity of professor, trade union, insurance that 100% of workers could be provided with career guidance when they have access for the career guidance services. ESC has encouraged to increase the quantity and improve the qualification of consulting staff. Is the current small number of employees working in ESC. The third solution is investing in facility, equipment, and IT application, building office with adequate equipment for the ESC staff, storing and updating the information of career guidance services, applying nationwide connection of the employment service software, monitoring for the career guidance, developing online career guidance services, innovating the collection, analysis and storage of labor market information, which include finalizing the labor supply and demand database for each area and the whole country, innovating the information collecting methods, promoting the cooperation with the enterprise and training institutions, striving to develop and operate nationwide the WorkNet software on employment services, is innovating assessment methods for ESC. In general, and the career guidance in particular, finalizing the internal quality control procedure, conducting the periodic regular survey on the customer satisfaction. The sixth solution is promoting the public-private partnership and the international cooperation, enhancing the coordination with private employment service enterprises to provide employment services and organize staff training courses regarding the career guidance expertise and skill. Strengthening the cooperation among the web members in terms of exchanging documents, training, and experience in providing employment services. To have more understanding of career guidance services in Vietnam, we would like to present a short video on the career guidance at Hanoi Employment Service Center. Please look at the screen.
Hanoi Employment Service Center is under Department of Labor, Invalid and Social Affairs. The center has functioned of providing career guidance services to job seekers. Coming to Hanoi Employment Service Center, job seekers have been provided with face-to-face career guidance through two basic forms, by individuals and by groups. Face-to-face career guidance for individuals. Hanoi Employment Service Center has arranged professional officers to provide this service for job seekers. In fact, career guidance is not only provided with labor market information, but also analyzes for identifying workers' abilities matching or adapting with occupation and job vacancies available in the labor market. Accordingly, job seekers could be assisted in improving CV, making action plan for building capacities, or changing jobs. Career guidance officers would provide basic or in-depth career counseling based on each job seeker's conditions. Basic career guidance is provided by the Employment Service Center with updates on capacity building courses, vocational training courses, or labor market information for job seekers, such as attributes, requirement of job vacancies, and the basic assessment on job seekers' abilities. Regarding the in-depth career counseling, Employment Service counselor would have to rely on their experience, knowledge, and some assessment tools such as questionnaires and some other support tools to assess each job seeker more comprehensively in terms of capabilities, suitability or adaptations, and readiness for occupations and jobs, so that career guidance could be provided in details for job seekers. Regarding the career guidance by group of job seekers, Hanoi Employment Service Center has provided this service for each group, such as group of newly graduated trainees, students, group of unemployed workers finding new jobs, group of unemployed workers demanding the vocational training with the purpose of changing occupations and finding new jobs. Hanoi Employment Service Center usually provides career guidance for students at schools and universities, helping them aware of their career paths at the early schooling stages. Hanoi Employment Service Centers has also provided career guidance for services with different contents depending on each job seekers and their specific demands, such as employment guidance, vocational guidance, consultation on labor legislation and an employment insurance scheme, and other relevant topics. For the employment guidance, database of job vacancy has been set up by Employment Service Center. When a job seeker seeks the employment guidance service, consulting officers use this database to provide guidance services for job seekers so as to match the job vacancies with capabilities, conditions of job seekers. In case of the mismatch, workers could be provided to improve vocational training skills to meet job requirements. To provide vocational guidance effectively, the training database has been established by Hanoi Employment Service Center accordingly. Job seekers are consulted to join vocational training courses in accordance with their capabilities and conditions. Additionally, They also take advice to participate in vocational training courses in the occupation of those to be selected by enterprises. Therefore, trainees could find jobs right after their graduation. In addition, coming to Hanoi Employment Service Center, job seekers are also provided consultation on labor legislation, unemployment insurance scheme, and other skills such as job search skills, job interview skills, CV writing skills. At the moment, there is a great growing demand of the labor force for these guidance services. Hanoi Employment Service Center has applied IT effectively in providing career guidance that have increased both quantity and quality, and also time-consuming for job seekers. With various forms of providing career guidance, Hanoi Employment Service Center provides career guidance services for more than 70,000 job seekers on average annually. As a result, effective of job creation, employment matching as well as the development of Hanoi labor market have been improved.
That's one of the challenges that we all have in the public employment services when it comes to providing career advice or career guidance. I would like to ask the audience whether you have questions for Ms. Van Nguyen before we move on to the next presentation. Any questions? And which country you represent and which organization?
Okay. Sabadi Tonsao. Okay. Good morning again. Okay. I come from Lao PDR. I would like to share your experience in staff, especially building, capacity building. Please tell me how is your staff training in general and in the training for career guidance and practitioner in general. I would like to know how to training your staff, because you have many activity and experience, and we also have the same weakness with my country. So I would like to share experience with you. Thank you.
Staff, we have every year we organize a training course for the lecturer. That means key consultant. And after that, they organize a training course in the ESC. Because the Ministry of Labor, Invalid and Social Affairs, we cannot organize for all of the staff. So we organize for key staff in the ESC. And after that, they organize in ESC for all of the consultant staff. And the document we prepare for like a framework. And we have a guideline, and after that it depends on the ESC's condition. They can modify and we can re-prepare the lecture for ESC's staff, because for each ESC they have quality and knowledge. The different knowledge, so we spend the details document for them, and if they have some questions, they can ask us, and we can support them in the answers to question. And every year we organize about 5 training courses. And the other ESCs organize similar course for them. Thank you.
Thank you. More questions from the audience? For this, where do they come from? Are they within your own organization, or do you also have trainers from outside the Public Employment Service?
Usually, it's lecturers come from our ministry. That means Department of Employment, and sometimes we invite some experts. Foreigner expert, for example, is before we invite Madame Nicola, they will have a presentation tomorrow. Come from Manpower and ADECO. She come and trains for the training inside our ministry, and someone from ESC. And after that, they can organize as a training course in the ESC for them.
So you are actually cooperating with private partners in that as well.
And I hope maybe in this workshop, maybe I hope we can invite you come from the developed country to come our ministry, and we will organize some training course with your support, because I think you have more experience in the training for the consultant staff. So thank you if you come with us. Welcome.
Let me at this point say that from WAPES we have funds also to support study visits and expert visits. Like this could be one. We have a cooperation fund that facilitates study visits from a beneficiary country to a, let's say, more developed or more experienced country to see how things are done. For example, how career advisors are working on the spot, or give face-to-face career guidance, like in this case we have been talking. And we also have the funding for experts that would come from the more experienced country to the beneficiary country and give, for example, a training or some kind of consultancy for a couple of days. So if you are interested in doing this, then let us know and we'll help you with that. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Hello everyone. My name is Takahiro Matsui. I am a vocational guidance officer from the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare in Japan. First of all, I appreciate you providing me this presentation opportunity. Today, I'll introduce face-to-face career guidance for job seekers in Japan. In particular, how the PES provides personal services according to each job seeker's attributes, and how effective the person-to-person approach works in the Japanese PES. Today's main topics are flow of services in the PES, development of career guidance tools, career guidance network, and information providing system in Japan. Let's start with the first topic, the flow of services in the Japanese PES. After registration, each job seeker is given initial guidance. Recipients of employment insurance benefits take a guidance seminar. About 2 hours are used for the seminar, so that the job seekers can fully understand the procedures and services of the PES. On the other hand, those who are not recipients are offered short guidance, which is done during the registration. The job seekers are segmented according to their personal attributes. Segmented job seekers are provided consulting and various kinds of service. And finally, job seekers who are ready for job interviews will be arranged for job placement. Let's move on to the segmentation process. First, recipients of employment insurance benefits are segmented into the top priority group. Among the recipients, PES officers select people who are seriously seeking jobs because their employability is assumed to be higher than that of other job seekers. Now I call them urgent. Among the recipients, those who are not urgent take general support, but they will be strongly encouraged to search for jobs by PES officers. Including recipients of the benefits, all job seekers are divided into several categories. These categories are like those on the slide. First, youth. The long-lasting recession had changed the circumstances of young people who are hunting for jobs in Japan. And even now, there is a huge number of youth who are suffering from joblessness. Next, mothers with young children. Due to the shrinking population in Japan, the government has to accelerate the participation of the women's workforce. People with disabilities, many of them need special support to get jobs. People who are seeking nursing care jobs. As the number of aged people increases, the need for nursing care workers is also increasing. Recipients of welfare services. The government is trying to reduce the number of recipients of welfare services. They are also a burden to national budgets. Finally, foreigners, especially Japanese descendants. We call them Nikkeis. They need special support, including interpretation and education of Japanese language. Next, among each segmented group, PES officers select the target job seekers for person-to-person consulting. You may notice job trainees on the third category. They are trainees of a newly established support system. I'll explain it later. I'll explain it about him later. On the last slide, please wait. And others, they can take consulting other services without a reservation. PES officers perform their jobs by using internet system. The internet system named Hello Work system has many functions. The internet system has information on all job openings and job seekers. Therefore, PES officers can quickly deal with the job openings, check the current situation for position filling, and record communication with job seekers and so on. This is the evaluation scheme of consulting. All officers in the PES manage their services based on the PDCA cycle, namely plan, do, check, and action. At the plan stage, they identify problems of each job seeker. Then they plan how to provide consulting and other services. At the do stage, they carry out the plan, providing consulting and other services, and then arrange job placement. At the check stage, they check how well the services went by analyzing the reply from employers and feedback from job seekers. At the action stage, if the process doesn't work well, they reconsider their plans. In this way, every flow of service in the PES is reviewed by the PDCA cycle. PES offices provide various kinds of service to job seekers. First, PES offices provide information on job offers to job seekers. Job seekers can search job offers using intranet terminals. Next, PES offices hold various kinds of seminars, such as how to write a CV or resume, how to take an interview, self-understanding, and so on. Vocational aptitude tests are also available. And job training. There are two types of job training. One is for recipients of employment insurance benefits, and the other is for those who are not recipients. Until 2010, only training for benefit recipients were available. However, in 2011, after Lehman's shock, our ministry developed a new training system for those who are not recipients. I'll explain it later. Let's have a look at the main results of person-to-person consulting. Person-to-person consulting seems to be successful. The percentage of employment of all job seekers in fiscal year 2012 was 28%. Even the lowest output of person-to-person consulting for people with disabilities reached 49.2% in fiscal year 2012. From these results, we can find that person-to-person consulting is one of the most efficient methods for job seekers. The difference between target people and others is due to the difference of concentration and commitment of PES officers. Let's move on to the second topic, development of career guidance tools. As you can see on the slide, in recent years, several tools have been developed in Japan. The first computerized career guidance system in Japan was introduced in 2001. After several versions, now we call it Career Insight. Please have a look at the registration box. EC means early career. It's for young people. MC means mid-career. It's for adults. When using all the functions of this system, it takes about 90 to 120 minutes. Next, the National Trade Skill Test of Career Consulting. First, I'll explain about the test carried out by the private sectors. In 2002, our ministry issued the criteria for standard level. Based on the criteria, the private sector started its own tests, whose target is immediate skilled workers. In 2008, the National Trade Skill Test of Career Consulting, the second grade, started. The second grade test is provided for advanced skilled workers. Also in 2011, the first grade national test started. Now the number of successful candidates is only 13 persons nationwide. The third tool is JobGuard. As I mentioned before, there are a huge number of youth who are suffering from joblessness in Japan. Many of them want to be regular employees. However, most of them have no choice but to be non-regular employees or part-time workers. The JobGuard system provides non-regular employees assistance, such as career consulting, practical vocational training, and evaluation of ability. The JobGuard records all information on each phase of assistance. Assistants in each institute, including PES offices, can refer the records of JobGuard when they provide assistance to target people. The support system for job seekers has been implemented after the last economic crisis, 2011. Job seekers who use the support system have to use JobGuard. Therefore, the flow of both job card and this system are very similar. On slides 5 and 8, I mentioned that there are two types of job training. One is for recipients of employment insurance benefits, and the other is for those who are not recipients. The support system for job seeker, this system, is the latter type of job training. The third topic is Career Guidance Network. In this network, some organizations need to be explained. First, local vocational center for persons with disabilities. In the Japanese PES, the number of job seekers with mental disorders and developmental disorders has been increasing. PES services are not enough for them to enhance their employability. Therefore, PES offices have to cooperate with centers to fully support them. NPOs. In Japan, NPOs were legalized in 1998. Now the number of NPOs is more than 14,000. Physical handicaps, needs, single mothers, and so on. PES offices refer to NPOs if necessary. Young people tend to avoid public offices which have a rigid image. The word cafe may give a soft image, like a real cafe, which is easy to enter. Job Cafe is the collaboration between the PES and prefectural governments. The PES is in charge of career consulting and job placement. Prefectural government is in charge of other services. Local youth support station is for needs or sufferer of social withdrawal. They are not ready for job searching. Therefore, its mission is to upgrade such people's condition to become ready for job searching. The last topic is providing information. Our ministry runs 2 information sites. The Hello Work Internet Service provides information about PES services. So the job offers on this site are only those that are applied to the PES. The number of accesses is about 500,000 per day. Job Information Net is a portal site of information on job offers. It includes private placement businesses, private worker dispatching businesses, and Hello Work Internet Services. So the amount of information of this site is larger than that of Hello Work Internet Service. The number of accesses is more than 600,000 per day. Finally, I'd like to introduce one of the mascot characters of the Japanese PES. Many PES offices in Japan have their own mascot character. They are job supporters, mascot character of the Sendai PES office. Sendai is located in Miyagi Prefecture in the northeastern region of Japan. We call the region Tohoku. The motif of it is a popular TV program series featuring a fighter group. The TV series has been broadcast for 39 years. I also watched it when I was a young child. This mascot won the second prize in the work improvement contest for the PES in 2011, the year of Great Earthquake, because they succeeded in making an appeal for the PES, especially to young people. That's it. Thank you for listening.
So you can have a look later. Thank you for also elaborating on your corporations that you have outside of the public employment service. We have been talking about that before, also with and that's an important cooperation. Can I ask the audience whether you have questions?
You are making a difference between people receiving unemployment insurance or not. What is the basis on which you decide that a job seeker will get such an insurance or not?
Paying insurance premiums before they lose jobs. And others are not those who are not paying premiums. That's the difference.